Have you ever heard that Esau was hated by God even before he was born? It's one of the most provocative statements in the Bible, and one that has sparked centuries of debate among scholars and theologians alike. Today, we journey into the story of Esau, the rugged hunter, the man of the field, and the brother whose destiny was sealed by God's sovereign choice. In the rugged hills of ancient Canaan, the story begins with Rebekah, pregnant with twins. The Bible tells us this pregnancy was not smooth. The twins struggled within her womb, foreshadowing the conflict to come. God spoke to Rebekah, revealing a divine truth. 2 nations are in your womb, and the older will serve the younger. The elder will be hated. Genesis 25:23. This ancient prophecy suggests that Esau, the firstborn, was hated, not because of personal failings alone, but because of God's sovereign plan, setting the stage for a complex story of fate and free will. Esau was born first, red and covered with hair, earning the name Edom, meaning red. His brother Jacob was grasping Esau's heel, a symbol of their ongoing struggle. The Bible portrays Esau as a skilled hunter, a man deeply connected to the outdoors. His father Isaac's favorite because he brought him game meat. Genesis 25:27-28. Jacob, by contrast, was a quiet man, tending tents and favored by his mother Rebekah. But was Esau truly the reckless, impulsive man often depicted? Some scholars argue that the biblical portrait is more nuanced. Esau's love for hunting and the fields was his way of life, not necessarily a moral failing. He provided for his father faithfully and honored familial duties. One day, Esau came home exhausted and starving. The smell of Jacob's stew filled the air. "Give me some of that red stew," he demanded. Jacob replied, "Sell me your birthright." In his hunger, Esau agreed, trading his divine inheritance for a bowl of lentils. Some scholars argue Esau's action was impulsive, a failure to value spiritual blessings. Others point to his desperate physical state, starving and near death, casting Jacob's shrewdness in a more calculating light. Was Esau a short-sighted fool, or a man pushed beyond his limits by hunger and exhaustion? Later, the story grows darker. Isaac's blessing, meant for Esau, is given to Jacob after Rebekah's manipulation. Esau's bitter cry of loss and anger marks a turning point. Genesis 27. Here the tension between human trickery and divine sovereignty intensifies. Did God's prophecy cause Esau's rejection, or was it Jacob's deceit that altered his destiny? This question fuels rich theological discussion. Esau's anger forced Jacob to flee, but Esau himself went south, settling near Mount Seir, fathering the Edomites. His descendants became a nation often at odds with Israel. Far from the villain of tradition, some readings of Esau offer a more balanced view, portraying him as a man who mourned his losses, respected his brother enough to reconcile years later, and lived honorably within his own people. In the New Testament, Esau is mentioned as an example of one who despised spiritual things, Hebrews 12:16, continuing his symbolic role as representing those who reject God's blessings. However, Jewish and Christian scholars debate this legacy. Some see Esau as a foil to Jacob's chosenness, a representation of worldly desire versus spiritual promise. Others argue for a more sympathetic reading, considering cultural and historical context that complicates the narrative of hatred.
The phrase, "Jacob I loved, but Esau I hated," Malachi 1:2-3, Romans 9:13, often shocks readers. Scholars suggest this hatred is not about personal animosity, but signifies rejection of Esau's line as bearer of the covenant blessings in favor of Jacob's lineage. The ancient audience would have understood this as divine election, a theme central to Israel's identity. The hatred is a metaphor for preferential choice. Esau's story challenges us to consider the tension between fate and free will, material desires and spiritual longings. It reminds us that God's plans often confound human expectations, and that divine purposes may use even flawed people to achieve profound ends.
Esau was more than a man rejected. He was a symbol, a son, a nation's father, and a witness to the mysteries of divine justice. His story asks us, how do we value what we have? Do we embrace the spiritual blessings before us, or are we swept away by immediate needs and desires? If this story sparked your curiosity, like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. What lessons do you draw from Esau's journey? Join us next time as we unravel more ancient tales and their profound meanings.